Well, the best way to describe him, I guess, immediately off the hop for me is he's quietly confident.
Mhm.
So you can tell that he's not a rah guy. He's not a boisterous guy. Maybe you're not going to see him maybe high fiving everybody after a series win like Bergevin. But watch the mic stand, Andrew. But something like I think this is a winning combo with Gorton and Hughes, and the best friend thing is just ridiculous. I mean, the French media, of course, just always has to go after that narrative, at least some sort of a negative narrative, anyway. But they both addressed it. If you notice that Kent Hughes jumped in and said, "Listen, I need to address this. We're not best friends." And you know what Kent Hughes said the best there? He said, "I wouldn't be the GM of the Montreal Canadiens if I wasn't qualified to be the GM." And I think he silenced that question right there. He said, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't deserve to be here." And he was thankful that the Montreal Canadiens went through the process, went through the channels to make sure that Kent Hughes was the right person for the job. So that is a big thing. Now, before I move forward, I do have to give a birthday shout out. This is special for today, and Anik wanted to be here, guys, for this show. We'd been thinking about the show for a while, didn't know when it was coming, but we want to give a very special 90th birthday shout out to Claude. He's watching right now, 90 years young. Claude, happy birthday. We just want to say thank you for supporting not just us, but we just want to say, congratulations. 90 years young is no small feat, and we hope that you guys have a great time with the family tonight.
Yeah, and Mike Komisarek is celebrating the same night as well, his 40th, right? So you guys share that together, Claude.
Yeah, well, 50 years to go, Mike. You got a lot of work to do. So, but congratulations, Claude. Happy birthday. We wanted to give you a shout out. You're such a big supporter of Anik and her career. And if I have one word to say about Anik, it's that she needs to be hired by the Montreal Canadiens much sooner than later. There, I said it. So now, guys, let's break down a little bit more. I've got a ton of quotes, from, Jeff Molson, Jeff Gorton, from Kent Hughes. Now, I'm going to let you guys kind of, jump in. We got a lot of quotes written down here. We got emails, we got all kinds of content. So what's some of the stuff that jumped out at you guys? Just go ahead and fire away.
Yeah. For me, I think the one thing that really kind of got me excited is when he mentioned how many contacts he has in the recruiting world. Spending 25 years as an agent, obviously a big part of being an agent is recruiting your players, right? So he does do a lot of scouting. He has done a lot of scouting, so he knows the process. But the fact that he says he has so many contacts all over the place and a lot in Quebec as well, that really got me excited. And because of how bad we have drafted, like the draft has been our Achilles heel for so long now, and I'm really hoping for a change soon, and it looks like we'll be getting it.
Yeah, and another question also that I felt was quite relevant is when he spoke about his if Jeff Gorton had approached him in the past regarding joining him, working with him, and he did mention, actually, he was truthful about it. He did say, yeah, for the Rangers, he approached me in the past, and the timing wasn't right. He says, but this time, he says, the difference is it's Montreal. And he says, that's home for me. He says, that's the place where I grew up. I said, it's the most storied franchise in hockey. And then he went on to mentioning Bill Guerin, with whom he's very good friends, he said. And Bill told him, he says, hey, listen, it's the New York Yankees of hockey. You can't pass that, right? And Chris Letang, is one of his clients, obviously called him to congratulate him, saying how proud he was of him. And he said he had a bunch of people calling him and congratulating him. So I'm excited for this guy. I'm excited for him, but I'm excited for us as well, because, people who know me will know that I'm also, I was a big supporter of Bergevin. That time has gone. Now it's time to move on to the next phase, and I'm excited to see what this guy can bring. And he's no puppet. Don't get me wrong. He's no puppet like some people suggested.
That's right.
What makes you say that, JD? What makes you say that he's not just going to be a mouthpiece for the Canadiens?
Well, for one thing, if they wanted a mouthpiece, they would get someone who's better spoken. Okay, the guy is intelligent, but he's not a spokesperson. Okay, so if they wanted someone who would be a public speaker, they would approach someone who would be a better speaker than that, in my opinion. But also listening to him, you can tell that the guy has tons of hockey knowledge and hockey background. When Gorton mentioned that he wanted someone to complement him, to fill in the voids with him, this guy will do that. He will challenge Gorton. He will bring on his own ideas. They were talking quite a bit actually during that press conference about how he thinks outside the box, right? And that's something important, someone with fresh ideas.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. One aspect that also stood out for me was his emphasis on advanced statistics. He said him and his team are going to put a lot of emphasis, and they're going to really look at advanced statistics, not just for the team, but for other teams as well, to make sure that they, trade or select the best players possible, which is very interesting. I mean, obviously you got the eye test, you have the general statistics, but like advanced statistics can give the organization another look, another perspective as to what a player can bring to the table. So again, I'm not sure, obviously, how the Bergevin team handle that, but now we know that it's going to play a big factor for us, and I'm pretty excited about that.